5 seconds. Or no, we are on. E estamos online, pessoal. Sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um episódio de Conversas de Garagem. Hoje peço um bocadinho a vossa paciência, que o episódio será praticamente em inglês, porque o nosso convidado é americano e será em inglês. Eu vou tentar, não prometo, mas vou tentar, entretanto, depois pôr legendas para aqueles que não perceberem. Mas eu vou tentar isso durante a semana. Eu vou tentar fazer com que a conversa seja o mais simples também. Mas sim, o José caiu entretanto a conversa, mas ele bem. O nosso convidado desta semana é nada mais, nada menos que Dustin Miles, all the way from the US of A, Georgia. Hi man, how are you?
What's good, bro?
Was good. Just chilling. It's like
Yeah,
5 o'clock over there, so you are just
I'm
doing.
just kicking it on a Saturday.
I'm just
Out in the garage.
I'm just taking some of your time, but I'm pretty sure people will appreciate to see what the mainly grassroots guy, well created as a grassroots guy and competing in FD Pro 2 and all around a party guy. Basically, you like to throw it down.
I like to have a good time.
You have obviously. We had a good time in January at Drift Week 1.
Yeah, we did.
It was the sickest thing ever, at least for me. And
Me too.
I have a feeling the first one was way better than this one. I think
I think the first one's gonna be, something that will never be topped.
no, because
No.
we were what 13, 14 groups
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
So all along, like all together, we were what 30 people tops. Like your crew was a bit bigger because you had your media guys and stuff. But
Mhm.
our car, we were three. Other cars were just two. But yeah, like 30 guys, 30 something people. Um, we mostly got crammed in one house most of the days. So
I know. I slept on the floor that whole time.
Jesus, like that itself was an achievement. Just to get so much people inside
Just
houses.
having so many people so close together for so long without any real drama was a big feat in itself. I feel like.
No, to be honest, we didn't have problems with each other. Like
No,
we
it
just
was nothing.
and
It was
it
all good vibes.
it was a lot of alcohol going on at some point. So
There was.
so I don't know. Like everybody just got along.
Mhm.
Like guarantee the best one was in LA. Like
Mhm.
you didn't spend all days there because you had your missus with you as well. So you went out for a couple of the nights, but
Mhm.
it was really
I
cool.
liked hanging out in Arizona as well. I think that might have been
That
my
was cool.
highlight.
That was cool. It
Yeah,
was your birthday
I
as
liked
well.
Arizona.
It was your
Yep,
birthday as
it was
well.
my birthday. I was the first one, only one on Drift Week to have a birthday. Not the
Yeah.
first one. I think someone else had a birthday too. I
Uh,
forget.
can't remember to be honest, but that was cool. Arizona was cool, like
That was fun.
the fine art guys and stuff. But
Mhm.
we're gonna comment that soon. I don't know what's going on
Mhm.
with Jose, my co-host. It just disappeared. Something went wrong with his connection, but we're gonna get in touch. So, do you want to just give a quick introduction who you are for the ones who live on the rock?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Dustin Miles. I have been drifting for about 7 years now. I'm also involved with Drift Team Garage Moon Power. We have
Woohoo.
done some things together as a drift team, driving events like Final Bout and all that.
Yes.
And I've also competed myself in competition drifting, earned my Pro 2 license 2 times, once with U.S. Drift, and then once with Southeast Drift Union.
Cool.
And I competed in Pro 2 for the last 3 years.
Gee,
And we also did Drift Week.
that was something else. But yeah, so you are an S chassis fan, right?
I am. First drift event I ever went to, I got to ride. Well, actually, the first drift event I ever went to was a Formula D event in 2013, and I was like, "Whoa, I want to do this." I didn't think. I thought I always saw drifting, and I was like, "Oh, that's something that you have to grow up doing your entire life." Like any other form of professional racing.
Yeah.
And then I met some friends at that event, and they're like, "No, we got a grassroots event coming up next weekend. Come out and hang out, yada yada yada." So I went and hung out. Saw some friends driving some S13s. They took me for a ride along, and I was like, I gotta have one of these things. And I went home and
So you got hooked
got
right there.
online and bought one. Yep.
So no matter what, you got hooked there, and you were like, "Yep, that's me. That's
That was me.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do now."
That's exactly what I want to do. Yeah, because at the time, actually, I was wanting to do time attack and trying to build a car to do time attack, and we had this mall that had a store in it that had 5 simulators set up, and this was
Okay.
8-9 years ago that they had this set up, maybe even
Mhm.
10 years ago. And I would go in there every week, setting up time attack, doing time attack, driving, doing all these things, and I was super into it. And then I found drifting, and I was like, oh wow, I want to do this.
You were like, "No, shit, no, that's
Yeah,
me
I was like,
now."
oh wait, this looks like a whole lot more fun, and it's actually a little bit less expensive than trying to do time attacks.
Well,
And then it got more expensive.
it's never less expensive,
Yeah.
especially when we are talking about level of competition, especially
Mm-hmm.
FD and
Yeah, where it's gotten. But at its core, when I originally bought this car, because my FD car that
mhm.
I'm sitting in right now is actually the first drift car that I've had and started building.
So
So
that's your
my first
first
car though, it was
S13.
just it was just yeah, it is. It just had a stock KA with a welded diff and some EMUSAs on it. They were just bare bones bullshit.
So did you drove it on the first few times KA just
Yeah, my
all the
friends wouldn't
100
let me
and
do. Yeah, they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do. I wanted to be the cliche. Oh, we're
SR20?
gonna drift. Oh, full build, right off the bat. I want to do
Yeah,
it like that. And my
yeah.
friends were like, no,
No, no.
And
You're
they're
gonna
like,
save
no,
money. You're gonna be sensible.
you're gonna learn the right way, and you're gonna learn every step before you try and take jumps and leaps and try and learn how to rely and depend on these angle mods to make yourself a good driver.
Yeah. So you wanted to
So
evolve with the car, not just
they wanted me to evolve with the car. They
be
wanted
the
me to
car.
learn and be able to outdrive the car
Yeah, 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 yeah.
almost on the same level. You didn't want to make the car, this level and my driving skill be this level. We want, them all way to be, taking
Yeah.
gradual steps with
So,
me.
what was your first mod to see if it's the
Um,
same as everybody else say to do?
well, my first thing that I did was after getting it set up as far as getting my, had the coilovers of welded diff, and I learned how to drive like that. No angle. It had no angle
Yeah.
mods.
So you
So
did the
it was all
suspension
stock
first.
angle.
You did suspension first. Welded
It was
diff.
coilovers, diff, and stock angle, and then I did an SR swap,
Okay.
still stock angle, and then I learned how to drive the SR with stock angle, and then I got an angle mod.
When you felt like, okay, I'm running out of angle, like I'm maxing out.
Yeah,
If I
I'm
want to do
able to
more,
paint the track consistently
okay.
without big angle, and then I put angle into it now, and that's also why today I can pretty much hop in to almost any car and be able to link a track. Like a couple weeks ago, I went up to an event and drove an Audi S4.
Oh, I
That
saw that. That was one of the
stock.
things I wanted to ask you. What was all of that about? That was four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
It was rear wheel drive, but it was originally all wheel drive.
Yeah,
They
because it was an
welded the front
S4.
diff,
Yeah.
and they welded the center diff. They welded the rear diff, and
Okay.
then we taped up the e-brake hole, the e-brake button, and basically I just drove it like that. But I mean, I'm telling you, no one could really drive that car that knew how to drift any regular car. Like if you could drift your 240, it wasn't just you couldn't just hop in that car and go length the track. Like it was actually something that you had to adjust to and be able to figure out.
Oh yeah, because like
It basically had
cars,
no self steer.
yeah, because cars, especially that is based on a front wheel drive car. So it's the same as trying to make a Subaru drift or an Evo drift or whatever, because
Mm-hmm.
the tower struts are in a weird position where you don't want them. They are way
Yeah.
too back. Um, so that must be a bit of a mind fuck, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It was because the first time I got on it and I tried to do like some donuts and stuff in this little skid pad area, and I just kept spinning out and I spun out and then I was like, you know what? Hold on, and I tried it again and I killed it and I was like, all right, fuck, hell yeah, let's go try.
No, because it's the same thing. Like you only see those cars working in Gatbill in like Norway or Sweden or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and that's the only place they work, and they are still 4 wheel drive, so
Yeah,
it's not a thing. No, but
yeah.
that was your first mod because we always say here, um, what people like opinions, what people should start, and not like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I got a car, I'm gonna 2J swap it, or I'm gonna turbo my car. Because the most popular car over here in Europe pretty much is BMWs. You know, there are BMWs, the 325 I's, whatever, E36s, and
Mm-hmm.
then people start turbocharging them with a 25, the 2.5 liter engine, or they step up for a 3 liter. But then
Mm-hmm.
they cheap out on suspension, you know. So you end up with a powerful car, but with a boat handling.
It's not. Yeah, it's not really set up all that well.
So that's what we try to
Yeah, it's
always
always
advise.
important, I think, to get the setup right, get the car driving right before you really start adding power and doing everything else.
Yeah, because
That's my always opinion.
you drove your car KA,
Mm-hmm.
and that had what 140 horsepower, something like that.
If it was lucky.
On a rainy day. On a rainy day.
Yeah.
If it was dry, you get like 100. Lucky.
Yeah. People just need to also keep into consideration that you have to set your car up all around for the car as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, I can't take the same alignment setup that I have on this car right now and put it on a K8 car and expect
Oh,
it to work.
obviously
You
the,
know,
the
like,
the weights are
you
different.
you got
The
to make sure that you're running the right amount of camber to how much power you have so that you're making the car able to do what you want it to do, you know?
obviously, like, and then that's the thing. I keep saying is like you need to set up the car and need to evolve the car with you, not just like get a
Mm-hmm.
massively powerful car with all like you said, like not a build car already and then start driving. I know people do that. It's nothing wrong if you can afford it, but
No,
if
it's definitely a smarter way to do it if you can find a properly built car.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, if
yeah.
you can find someone you know is a reputable builder to buy a car from, that's definitely going to save you a ton of money and headache
Oh
if you
yeah.
go that route.
Or like we have an example here. The guy he couldn't drive he couldn't drive normal a normal car, so when he start building his car with all the goodies you can imagine, like the sequentials, all the steering mods, all quick changes, all the stuff, he became really good. But that's it. With a built car, himself said, like if he gets like a standard Z with some coilovers or stuff, he can drift. He simply can't, you know, because he got used to the
Mm-hmm.
power and the easiness,
Relying on
Yeah,
all the modifications instead of relying on your skill set.
yeah. And then you have other drivers who start from really low power car, and then they start growing the car and their skills and normal stuff. Um, that normally happens when you have a lower budget because you start with a lower end thing and then you start evolving, evolving, evolving. But
Mm-hmm.
it's something a good driver should do. That's my opinion. You should
Mm-hmm.
evolve your skills with the car and not just not go full full. money bags.
Yeah,
But
can't do that.
yeah, so you start competing. You said you got 7 years ago. Was that
Hmm.
like your a local series, or it was just a fun event?
No, actually, so 7 years ago was like me getting a car, learning how to drift, all that kind of stuff. So the after
Okay.
I probably took the first 3 years, so 13, 14, and 15, to learn how to drive. And I didn't start competing until 16.
Okay.
And then I did 1 year of Pro Am in 16, earned my license that year. In 17, I did Pro 2.
Oh,
So I did Pro
so
Am in
it
15.
was so
Yeah, as
you
soon as I
didn't
started,
you
I
didn't
was
took
like,
that
Pro
long.
Am. Yeah, I didn't take that long. It was a Pro Am. I earned my first license, and then and then next year I did Pro 2. I also did a Pro Am shootout that year in 17 and earned another license with US
Okay.
Drift at a shootout, which is where we have basically a 3-day weekend event, and top three finishers earn their license that weekend.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like a 1 day show up Pro Am series. So
Cool.
I did that, and then competed in Pro 2 17, like 18, 19, and 20. So yeah, I did Pro Am in 17, and then I did 18, 19, and 20 this year. Those were my 3 years I did Pro 2.
So, what do you think? What's your opinion on competitive drifting, like on a high level, and the events like I know they have nothing to do with each other, but like Super D and Final Bout stuff like that. What do you have more
I
fun? Honestly.
I think um I mean honestly there's more fun. It's like this, you have more potential to have fun at FD, whereas it could be an amazing time,
Hmm.
because you're kind of showing out for yourself. You're one person out there, and it's not like a team effort to where you're saying, "Oh, well, it was all of us." You are still saying that because it still is your entire team, but you're the only person that's really in the spotlight, I guess to say, to where it's kind of on you if you're going to do
Okay.
good or bad necessarily. Whereas on a final bout, stuff like that, you have your whole team thing. You're having, you have like you have a lot better chance of having fun at a final bout, a Super D, hanging out with friends, whatever. But so you have like your safe fun there, or you can have a risky amount of lots of fun or absolutely no fun at FD. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
a balance of what you're really into and what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like they're both out there for people, and it's usually I'm like literally one of the very, very few people. There's probably like a handful of people in the world who actually want to try and do both.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm one of
Yeah.
those idiots.
Because
But
first of all, is budget, which
it's budget,
it's
and then
horrendous.
also it's just like when you end up, I don't know, you kind of have to build your car kind of one way or the other nowadays. It's kind of like everyone's either like, oh, you're gonna build your car for pro am and it's gonna look this way and it's gonna perform like this, or you're gonna build your car for style events and it's gonna look this way and perform like
Yeah.
that. And I'm kind of like right here in the middle where I'm like, oh, I want my car to look like this but perform like that, and
Yeah. But you still
it's
not.
hard.
Yeah, but you still don't compromise style. That's the thing.
No, I don't compromise it,
Because,
but
for example, for a Super D or for a Final Bout, there's a lot of guys running like 4 degrees of camber on the rear and shit like that.
hmm
So
well, and
they're
out there
all
it's a
styling.
lot more it's a lot more like you're showing off not only your driving skill but also how you put a car together. It's a lot of things. It engulfs a lot more things than just your skills as a driver, where FD is kind of like we really are highlighting only your skills as a driver because almost every car out here is the same cookie cutter car at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Every car probably has either WiseFab or GK Tech or PBM angle kits or FDF
It's a
and
lot,
a quick
whatever. It's just,
change,
yeah.
a sequential. Every car's got the exact same recipe basically. It's just a different car.
Yeah.
Whereas out there, a car could have cut and chucks, and a car could have WiseFab, and a car could have whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and there is no rules per se.
Hmm.
Like, you don't need to
Yeah.
have this specific thing. You don't need to have that. A lot of people just drive. street cars, even though in America street legal is a vast thing, you know,
Hmm.
because you can have well, your car you did drift week. That's a full on competition car. So
Yeah.
so like you had roll cage, you have a dog box for sake. Like you drove all that with a dog box. So it's not
Hmm.
easy, um, but you still did it. You know, you had your speaker. That's it. That was only your comfort bit. Yes, your speaker
Yeah.
bar, and that's it.
My speaker. That was it.
But you still did it. So yeah, like I'm a big fan of Final Bout, for example. Like those fun events where you just see people throwing and like four cars, trains and stuff. Um, it's just
Yeah,
amazing.
and just getting to drive with a whole bunch of people that you kind of like chit chatted and talked to on the internet for so long and been friends with, and then also now it's gotten to the point now where every year it's kind of like a almost like a family reunion type thing. Like we go up there every year now and we see all these same people that we know. Like even like the track workers now have even started to recognize our faces, and it's really cool like going up there and them seeing them like, oh hey, how are you doing? Good seeing you this year.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole like aura about it that is really fun,
So,
and it has its own place, in the world. I feel like of drifting, and it's something that really can't be replaced.
no, no, it's that old thing people keep saying, keep drifting fun, but it is true.
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
Yeah, that's
Like
the real fun part of drifting. Like competitive drifting can be so fun. It can be a blast. It can be amazing, but those times are really few and far between. You know what I mean?
no, just
Like it's
enjoying
rare.
it.
Yeah,
It
it's a rare.
yeah.
You have to be able to go out there and enjoy it as a whole, whether you win, lose, or draw. You know what I mean? You got to be out there and have a good attitude and all that kind of stuff. And that's the only way that it'll make it fun.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this year for me was like so bad, but
Yeah, we're
at
gonna
the end of
talk
the
about
day, I
that.
kind of had to look. I had to look at it as well. I learned some stuff, and I got out there, and I had some great experiences, and I met some really cool people. So at the end of the day, it really wasn't that bad at the time.
Oh yeah, and uh, like it's quite complicated to ask this kind of stuff. Complicated, not complicated. It's just like, okay, let's think. Which one is your favorite fun event of those?
Um, of those,
Hmm.
actually, my favorite kind of fun event that I go to every year that I have fun at and go to is No Star Bash, which is kind of similar to that, but it's different.
No Star Bash.
No Star Bash,
So
yep.
is in Texas?
No, it's in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's the other kind of cool thing is I kind of grew up in the same area that the track is at, and it was also one of the places where I earned. It was the place where I earned my license the first time.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I earned my license, we did this really cool thing where all three pro am series had their final round at the same location. So
Okay.
like Southeast Drift, US Drift, and Midwest Drift all had their same last round at the same track on the same weekend. And then when the top three drivers of each series finished, we had another competition where it was the top three from this series battle the top three from that series and the top three from the other series. So that was
So
really cool.
was a lot of
There was a
competition and
lot of stuff.
different things.
Yeah, and just like the track and everything, all the people that are there, like the whole vibe is really fun. But Final Bout's also very fun. It's just really busy and really hectic, and you know what I mean. Like, I'd love to be able to go to US Air
That track
at
looks
like,
amazing. Like,
yeah, I would love to go there for an event that's not 90 people deep. You
yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
quite
Like that's
far
the
away
problem
from
with
you as
Final
well.
Bout. It's like everyone wants to be there, so it's
Yeah.
packed. It's there's they still do an amazing job to get you all the seat time that you would want, but still at the end of the day, you're kind of always like, man, I'd love to go out there and just be able to hop in my car and go rip tandems with the boys whenever.
Yeah.
It's still hard to get in line with your friends and stay in line with your friends when you see, oh, I want to do a lap with that person, then oh, I want to do a lap with that person, then I want to find my friends again. It
Yeah.
just don't work out that way,
They've that track has so many layouts you can get lost.
Yeah, yeah,
That thing,
and it's so much fun
but
because it's
it's
like, oh, I want to drive intermediate, oh, I want to drive advanced, and then oh, I want to drive intermediate, oh, I
yeah,
want to drive advanced now. Like it's just so hard to stay
it's just
keep
a
your mind on stuff.
it's just a little bit far away from you.
Yeah, it's 14 hours from us.
It's like the other side of the country, literally, for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not.
Yeah, well, it's 14 hours on the GPS, and it always ends up taking like 17 or 18 hours to
Yeah,
get there because of towing and mountains.
yeah. But um, and speaking on this subject real quick, you were supposed to do Drift Week too, at least one or two tracks,
I
were
was
you?
gonna try to, yeah, I was hoping to
Midpon
try to.
wasn't Midpon was the one you
Uh-huh.
wanted?
I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't
But
end up working out.
I ended up not having a car that would even make it.
Yeah,
So, and then I ended up not being in town. If I would have been at least in town, I would have just came over and hung out and like, at least saw everybody, but I ended up after my season kind of ended a little earlier than I was hoping, and I just went on a little vacation, kind of try to clear my mind and relax for a
obviously.
little bit.
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing. But they are thinking taking Drift Week 3 to that part, you know.
Mhm.
So if you do it, you might end up going to USA
Yep.
because that's apparently what's going on, but we never know. But you
Yeah, we
just
never know. I've heard that way, and then I've heard the West Coast. I don't know. You never
no,
know.
no,
Shit. Aaron
Aaron.
might try and do East to West Coast. You never know. They made I feel like Drift Week 2 like exponentially longer than Drift Week 1.
Oh,
So
so
Drift Week 3
long.
is probably going to be even longer than that.
What are they gonna do, coast to coast?
Right? I do have a car that I would love to get together, but I don't think I could ever do another Drift Week in my S chassis. Like in the other car, like maybe after I cut the cage out and put a new cage in
Yeah,
it. But
because your
like, see
cage
this
was
car?
like here. Your cage was
Yeah,
like
you see,
at your face.
yeah. This is the bar up here,
Mm,
whereas in my other car, the bar was literally right here.
yeah,
Like if I would have ever got T-boned, I probably would have died.
yeah.
Like it's just not safe to drive that car on the street all the time like that. Like I need to get that car, cut the cage out of it, put a new cage in it, and do a few little dress up things for it, make it feel a little better.
Yeah, but you will never know because it was at Park with Chelsea, so it's on, it's up there, so we never know.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned your season cut short a bit, so do you want to just explain a bit, real quick,
Yeah, let me
what it was?
tell. Let me. I gotta put my phone on the charger because it's
Okay,
starting to die. All right. Well, basically, you can kind of see my car in the
oh, look at
background
that,
now. I mean, this is my.
look
This
at
is
that
actually
beauty.
the basement of my house. Isn't that sick? Like this whole shop. This is why I bought this house. So
Because
that's
of
the
the show.
door. Yeah. So there's a separate driveway outside that comes all the way to the back of the house to that garage door. So that garage door will open up and you can pull in and out. And I have my trailer outside and a whole bunch of
Oh,
stuff. But yeah. So basically, what happened this year was we had to update our transmissions for to be SFI bell housings. And when I did that, I didn't upgrade my clutch and flywheel setup to what was needed with the adapter plate that I bought. So I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be different throwout bearing spacing. I can just change that. Everything will work fine. Everything did work fine, but my clutch setup had the pilot bearing in the crank, and the one that I was supposed to run had the pilot bearing in the flywheel. So my input shaft was doing this whenever I was like beating on my
yeah.
car, and it ended up breaking the transmission. I thought it was something else. I fixed the transmission, put it back in there, broke it again. When I broke it again, I broke all the main caps in my motor. I didn't know
That's
that.
hard. That's hard.
So I paid like another $2,000 or $3,000 to put my other transmission from my coupe that I took on Drift Week into my race car, and then went to Texas with the car just to find out that the main caps were broke as well. So I like wasted another $5,000 basically buying tires, fixing the car, taking the car all the way to Texas, just to basically find out my season was already over.
Yeah, I remember you were
And
really down on that time.
yeah,
That
I
was.
didn't have my spare motor done. Like this year, I had all plans of having two full motors ready to go, and I had everything for two full motors. But we dropped off the one at the machine shop, and we dropped them both at the same time. And basically, we're like, hey, we need them both done, but we need one of them done ASAP. We got one of them done ASAP, but the other one got pushed onto the back burner, and it's still not finished. So hopefully that machine shop's finally going to get caught up because it's like ever since COVID happened, every machine shop around here has just been stuck and not been working. And so hopefully we'll get the motor back together. Right now, my plan is to fix the Samsonus again, get one motor back together with stock main caps, and just detune it a little bit and set it up because the car was making 850 horsepower.
On
And so we're
24 pounds, what you said?
on 30 pounds
30
in
pounds.
nitrous.
And
30 pounds of nitrous.
yours is a true
And
1J, non-VVTi, right?
True 1J. Yep, True 1J. It has Arius pistons, Tomei rods, SuperTech valve springs, SuperTech valves, Inconel exhaust valves,
That's fancy.
Crowler 288 camshafts, ATI crank dampener, 2200 ID injector dynamics injectors.
Do you run E85, right? You have...
I run Ignite Red.
Yeah, exactly.
So the 115.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 125 shot of nitrous on the down low to spool the turbo. So that gives the car like another 150 horsepower. It's supposed to only be like a 75 shot, but the way it makes the turbo spool up so much faster, the car ends up making like 150 more horsepower.
You have Borg Warner, right? Yours is a Borg Warner?
It's a Garrett GTX 3582.
Oh, okay. So you have the bigger extra strip.
Well, yeah, good. And then on 25 pounds, no nitrous, or no, 28. So it makes 28 pounds of boost on the high setting without the nitrous. With the nitrous, it makes more boost just because the nitrous hit. So that's when it makes 30 pounds. But with 28 pounds, no nitrous, it makes 650. With 23 PSI and nitrous, it makes 650 as well. So that's what I'm going to go back to. It's just a 23, 24 PSI tune with the nitrous to spool. Because without the nitrous, the car's just so laggy. Like the 1J, it just has no bottom end torque, no balls down low.
Yeah, you don't have the displacement, you don't have the VTI. It doesn't work.
So if you're going like against a V8 car off the run up, if you're not able to stay right on that person's bumper, you fall out of boost, you don't launch your car 100% right, the whole comp is over right then. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like every competition is won and lost on the run up, and no one really takes that into consideration. It's like you're going to win and lose every battle right there in that first 4 or 5 seconds, because it's a whole lot easier to stay close and back off from someone than it is to catch up and gain speed and gain ground.
Yeah,
and so you just gotta,
even though
keep that in mind.
Even though you guys only at Pro F2 FC Pro 2, you guys have less runs. You only have 4 runs over the year. But you still need to be prepared because Pro 2 cars these days are pretty much Pro 1s. Like the builds are getting ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to think when you go into Pro 2, it's not like Pro M where you're going to go out there and like half the field is going to be almost a gimme. Everybody out there, especially this year, it was like, like anyone could have beat anybody. Like I ended up finishing at the very, very bottom of the pack, and I could have easily beat anyone that I lined up against, So it's just such a competitive field now that you got to be out there. You got to be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have, everything done, and you got to have a little bit of good luck on your side.
Oh, yeah. You had a mechanical issue because you only do 4 runs. If you miss one, your chances of winning the championship, it's quite slim over there because you already lost a lot of points. Yeah. Your car must be in terms of engine displacement, the smallest one, because no one runs SR20s.
No. There was a couple 2 years ago. Patrick Held, he had a KA, turbo KA car, but he was the only person that was really smaller. I think there's a couple other people. I know Troy Manners, he runs a 1J. And I think Carlos Arrieta this year, he ran a 1J as well.
Okay.
But there was just limited amounts of people that are actually running 1Js, especially at the power level that we pushed them to.
Because it's not like you can run 1,000 horsepower because you are limited on tire size. You can only run a 255.
1,000 horsepower isn't going to do you all that great.
No. So you need to limit it. In a way, it's good for you because you don't need to push that much because you only have a 255 tire. You don't need to get massive amounts of power. Not like you're not a
Yeah.
Von Garen Jr. which he needs a 315 or whatever, because those
Hmm.
things are just ridiculous. But
Yeah, and I mean, we were lucky enough to have the Achilles 123s, because at even those being only a 255, they were grippy enough to give you the grip that you needed, even up to 6 or 7, 800 horsepower. But anything more than that, it would be way too much.
yeah, since you touch on that subject, I know you used to run Valinos. Do you just run
Hmm.
Achilles because the series mandated, or it's also a
I
sponsorship
think.
choice?
Well, I've always ran Valinos and Zestinos and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
have a really good relation with those guys. Mike over at Valino and all they've always been really good to me, and they have an amazing tire that definitely has a benefit for it, a benefit to like the drifting world. And what I basically my personal opinion is that the 123 is a better tire if you want to be the most competitive person on the field and you don't care about budget,
Okay.
As far as like why was I running them? Yeah, I had to run them because of FD,
Yeah, they were
but
mandatory. Yeah.
they were mandatory. Yeah, we were like it was mandatory. Like I technically don't have the budget to be running 123s all the time, even though I would love to be able to do that because the grip is just ridiculous amounts of grip.
Mm-hmm.
But they only last one or two laps. Like the second lap, you're done. You know what I mean? They're gonna be slick. Whereas the Valino Pergia, you could get very, 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 very similar amounts of grip out of it with just astronomically greater tire
Oh,
life.
okay. They would last.
Like
They're like the
yeah, like I said,
Kendas. The
they're
Kendas are
like the
just.
Kenda, but of a grippy tire. Like they're
Yeah.
not. You can't really compare them to a Kenda because a Kenda will last longer, but a Kenda
It doesn't have
never
the grip level
would
you
never have the
design. Yeah.
grip to compete against that tire in a competition.
So the 123s, what thread wear they are?
200.
Okay. So yeah, they had a grippy
They're
tire.
both 200, but I don't know. Like everyone has always said the 123 is a cheater tire. I mean,
That
you
was
could look
because
at
of
cars.
Saito. That was because of Saito when he came to the
Yeah, but I
scene.
mean, even if you look at any of them, like, you mean they're competing, they're able to keep up and even be faster than cars that have tires on them that are 30, whatever millimeters bigger.
Hmm.
Like, not Von Gittin, they're running a 2 or a 315,
Yeah.
whereas someone like, Dylan Hughes is running a 285. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah.
mean?
But that's the biggest size
So
Achilles has, right? They don't
I
do
know,
it.
yeah, the 285 is the biggest they make, but
Mhm.
I don't even know if you'd even be able to spin a 315 or a 305
Because of the
Achilles
grip level.
123
Because of the grip
because the
level.
amount of grip they have, It's so
It's ridiculous.
it has its benefit there, but they're going to be really hard to get now, I think, who knows with everything going on.
Yeah, because they are not the like.
Yeah, they were bought out, I believe, by someone.
Well, there is always someone will get it. There is always someone
Mhm.
will step up. GT Radial is getting into the game. We never know if
Mhm.
if they want to sponsor the series.
Yeah,
They
we don't know. There's no, I don't, I like, as far as I know right now, there's no tire in Pro 2, so we'll have to figure out, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I might decide to take a year off, a year sabbatical from Pro 2 next year to kind of work on myself, work on my team, work on getting my car and my program structured right so that I wouldn't have another year like I had this year, and to also kind of see what's going to happen with the series. And I don't really want to try and jump into learning a whole new tire. Like
yeah.
maybe if Valino was going into Pro 2, then I would be like, oh, okay, I already know that tire really well. I'm
You have a
already
good
very familiar
relationship with
with
the
it.
tire and
I
the
have a go
people, so it's okay.
yeah, I could see myself being able to compete on that tire, but like say like a Kenda or something went to
Mm.
Pro 2 or whatever GT
Yeah,
Radial or whatever, like a tire that I'm just completely unfamiliar with. I just don't see the benefit in me trying to buy 30 tires, 20 tires to get my car set up on that tire and get a good feel for the tire just to go buy another 60 to 80 tires for the year.
yeah.
Like it gets really expensive, and it's really hard right now with everything going on to really push through and be able to, you know, able to do it
No, it's
because
it's a
with
weird
everything
time
going
we
on, it's
are.
like, financially, it's everything is just completely different than it was,
Oh yeah,
2 years ago or last year.
yeah, and because your license has a 2 year period, something like that, you can have it.
Hmm.
You can have a year off or two.
Yeah, I could have a year off or two, and I feel like even now, I guess even with having as bad a year as I've had this year, that no matter what, I would be able to, be like, hey, I want to do Pro Two. Even if they wouldn't let me petition in, I would be able to go and do a Pro Am series and
And
get
get
my
it.
license again.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I might do Pro Am next year. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying this to kind of talk negatively about Pro 2 at all, but I mean, it's getting to the point nowadays where you could go and do Pro Am and make it more financially stable than Pro 2. You can go
Yeah,
out to Pro Am rounds or shootouts and and they have prizes for $5,000 or $10,000 even
yeah.
sometimes, like clutch kickers where they have a prize for $10,000 for the winner, and
And
then
and you don't
there's a
even
couple
need
Pro Am
to.
shootouts that have
Yeah,
that.
and that's
And you
a good thing is about Clutch Kicker, for example. It's a one track championship. Let's call it that way.
Mhm.
Which you have 5 rounds plus some fun days, which you can go and
Mhm.
practice. Sometimes it's a weekend fun day, kinda. Um,
Mhm.
and you can go and be competitive, win some money, and you're still gonna get your name on the game. Like it's
Yeah.
no brainer.
And it's getting to compete against, like, I was able to go out there this year and get to drive with people like Nate Hamilton, people that I've looked up
Taylor
to
Hall went there.
since I started in Taylor Hall. I actually beat Taylor Hall and Nate Hamilton in one event one day.
See,
First time I went out there. I got to compete against some people that I looked up against and put my shot on the line, and I got to win. It was
and
cool.
they are the grassroots heroes. Let's put it
They
that
are
way.
grassroots heroes, and I'm not definitely wouldn't be able to go out there and beat them every time, but at least I got my shot, and I got to go out there and drive them, and then I develop relationships with these drivers too. Like Nate Hamilton looked out for me when I was out in Texas because getting to drive with him and hang out with him, be cool with him at Clutch
That's cool.
Kickers.
That's
It's just
cool.
cool the relationships that you meet at all these different events. It's like no matter what event you go to all across the world, you're going to see a whole bunch of people there that are just like you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
me and you, we're 2,500, 3,000 miles apart right now. But at the end of the day, we're very, very similar people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're both into the same stuff, just in different places.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to get to meet those people.
No, it's like those kind of events brings different realities, brings
Mm-hmm.
a whole new level of sketchiness as well. Because sometimes you can see some weird stuff on those events, but
Oh, yeah.
they all throw down. Like they, I normally watch the live from the event, and I never seen guys just like just going there and just bouncing around everywhere. No, like people go and they give hard, like they drive hard, and there is a lot of drivers. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not
And
like
it's also a track that makes it so that you can almost go out there with a stock 350Z and be
oh yeah,
competitive
yeah,
against a pro
yeah,
car.
because it's a really
That's also the
technical
other really
track.
cool part. It's a very technical track, and you can go out there and be competitive no matter what car or budget you have, really.
Yeah, yeah, and because you get the start line, you get a bit of a stretch, and then you can throw your car. You can like in fun events, you can do a lot of cool shit there. On competitive events, it's different because you can't simply go there and pull a Becky whenever. No, you can't
Hmm.
do that. But it's a really flowy track for what it seems to be.
Yeah, it has a
Um,
whole bunch of opportunities on the track to make up a couple feet if you ever need to.
oh yeah, because you get long but narrow corners. Kind of you need to
Hmm.
go and drive. It's really fun. Like that's one of my favorite tracks to drive on Acero, which I know you
Hmm.
drive as well. We're gonna talk that soon. But yeah, I feel like what you're doing it's not a step back. It's just a wise decision. You don't want to burden yourself on anything. You
Hmm.
don't want to just do something stupid and
Yep. Sometimes it's a necessary step
yeah.
in the process.
Yeah, a lot of people
So
don't like, even on Pro One, like Pro. Let's put it that way. People don't like to step down to Pro Two because they think, oh no,
hmm
if I'm gonna do that, I'm giving a weak part of me. It's not like
yeah,
you're not. What is better? It's being a pro driver in Pro One, but not never finish above 10th or whatever, or be a championship or a championship contender in Pro Two or in Pro M, and
yeah. I've
get
been
the
asking
wins on your
myself that
belt.
same question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the wins on your belt and get the money in your pocket.
Yep.
You know,
I know.
because it's those things. Because you guys have so much more stuff to choose. You know, like you have in America, you have more championships than the whole Europe because it's such a big country. Every state must like have a series almost.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess maybe it's. I don't know. I guess maybe you just kind of perceive it that way because you're not here, and I might have that same perception of what's going on in Europe because I can say the same thing about being able to go to like BDC,
Oh yeah,
IDC, Drift Masters.
A, a,
You know,
a
like
good
I'm
thing
sure.
about us is for you to travel to Texas, we get ourselves in Germany.
Yeah.
You know,
So y'all are going to different countries to compete and stuff, where we're just going to a different state, which
yeah.
is cool. I guess it makes it easier for us because there's no language barrier
No,
between
no,
the
no
two. You know
taxes,
what I mean?
no,
Like
no shit.
you go to Germany, you might not even be able to know what the hell's going on in the drivers' meeting. You know,
Yeah, that's an
but
issue.
yeah.
No,
So
but that's cool. For example, from where I live to go to London, let's put it that way, it's less than 2,000 miles. You know, and you go
hmm
across four countries. Well, fourth
hmm
is UK, but yeah. Uh, so it's not the end of the world. You can be there in a day or two if you take your time. You know,
yeah.
and then you
I
can
think the
go to
big
a race.
benefit that we have here is that it's a lot more accessible for us to have massive trucks and trailers.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing I
I feel
notice
like
there. You
it's
guys,
over there, yeah.
if you need to transport like
Let me see if it's still daylight enough outside. People might get a kick out of seeing my trailer.
oh yo, they will because your trailer is massive.
Yeah.
So people will be like, yeah,
So
those
like
things we don't see them out here. Don't worry.
this is something that is normally easily able to buy, you know, a dually massive
Yeah, that was what your guys
Cummins.
took at
Yeah, one of
Driftwick.
my boys were driving this the whole
Yeah,
way, you know. And this truck, which is only like, you know, maybe 20 this truck's probably only worth like $20,000 now.
that's nothing, bro.
US, which is probably not that much there. It
It's like,
pulls this thing.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So look, let me get it, the whole thing, and
You can get two cars there.
yeah, yeah, you can get two cars in there if you want.
That's
So and
massive.
yeah, also gets 10 miles to the gallon pulling that thing.
Oof.
So it it gets like pretty good fuel mileage compared to anything else, you know.
Oh yeah, and like even do you remember what the guys from Texas took to Grange, that
Mm-hmm.
edged one? Like that thing takes what,
Yeah,
four cars? Those kind of
three.
ones? Three?
Yeah, the wedges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and you can drive that with a truck. That's ridiculous. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't need an HTV license. You can drive with a truck like yours.
Yep. Any truck.
So you just need to get one of those goosenecks and off you go.
Yeah, that just makes it a lot more accessible for us to drive and be able to travel 2,000 miles, you know,
Oh yeah, because
than it is
normally
for
what
you
we have
guys.
here, it's more the normal trailer. Just the
Mm-hmm.
open trailer. It's the most
Open trailer,
common.
but with like pulled by like even a car sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. People just get like
The BMWs a
a
lot, I
BMW
saw.
van or just a station
Or
wagon.
wagons.
Yeah, we just get
Yeah.
those and we go around. We don't need massive uh, trucks because we don't really have them
Mm-hmm.
out here anyway. Like
Yeah.
your car here is worth like twice as much that
Mm-hmm.
Dodge you have because it's not
Yeah.
a thing. It's like an import. But
Mm-hmm.
but obviously that's a good thing. And your trailer, what how much goes roughly one of those?
That one's a 2015 model. If I was gonna sell it, I'd probably ask like 12,000.
12,000. Whoa, that's not that much.
Yeah,
That's not really not
no,
that much.
and it's got two AC units. Fully floored, electrical, everything.
Yeah. The only thing it doesn't have is a bed. It's like
It's
the
got
community.
hammocks.
Oh well, you sorted. Well,
Yeah, and it's got air mattresses. I got hella air mattresses in there. I put like air mattresses on the ground, and like places like Clutch Kickers, they have a power outlet there, so I can plug
just
my AC unit, one of them in, and then just go to sleep. Or I also have an extension cord and a generator, so I can just plug in my
yeah,
generator like
just
30
far
feet
away.
away
Yeah, so you don't get the
and
noise.
just sleep in there, be comfortable, food, eat, camp. I even, since it's a gooseneck, I came up with something this year where I thought it was pretty cool. It was kind of like just a moment, but I'm gonna put a little water tank where the overhang is on the
Okay.
gooseneck,
Yeah.
and then I saw this little attachment. It's like $250, and it's a little heater that has a little spout that comes off it. That's a water
You can have a
hose,
shower.
and you have a shower right
Oh man,
underneath the
that's
overhang.
awesome.
Like standing underneath the overhang of the gooseneck and set the
Yeah,
shower in there and put a little tarp up. Whole shower right there in front
you
of the
can.
chair.
Yeah,
Like
you can.
I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, you just get one of those curtains, whatever. Just go around,
Yep,
and well,
yep,
I'm gonna have a shower, bro. Just
yep. And then think about it. You're at Grid Life and y'all are partying. Y'all see some females out there. Hey girls, come on over here. Let's take a shower.
just we never know. Just bring it. Is enough space here for three or four of us.
Yeah, we
Just
can
bring
see
your
how many we
friends.
can fit.
Just bring your friends, and even if you are, frisky enough, we don't need a tarp. We just let the
No,
world see what's going on.
exactly.
Yeah, but just to not take this long, 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 long. But I know you drive an Assetto Corsa as well. So what's going on
I've
with
been
that?
getting back into it.
What's going on
See,
with it?
the thing about a set of Corsa to me was actually so I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if we were recording already or not about the simulator thing at the
Oh yeah,
mall
yeah, yeah,
back in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
day,
yeah, yeah.
and that's where I learned how to to
Time
basically
attack,
do
yeah.
time attack stuff.
Hmm.
Well, also, so that this is kind of like the backstory to my set of courses. So I'm gonna kind of like just bring it
Yeah,
all
yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So that place closed down. I find out about drifting. I start driving and drifting and doing little things here and there. I end up meeting a friend who is now one of my teammates in Garage Moon Power,
Hmm.
Phil. He's also my tuner. He tunes the Motec and everything in my car. But anyway, so he had the same simulator game setup at his house that they had at that mall,
Yeah.
but because at the mall they had R Factor, and this was back
Oh,
when R
okay.
Factor
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And then at his house he had JDM Factor. So he
Oh,
had the
holy
same
shit!
stuff set up, but for drifting. So me and him became best friends that day. I was over at his house every week, 2 or 3 times a week, playing that game and having a good time. And so I learned basically how to drive and how to drift all off that game. So I bought the 240. I drifted it a couple times, here and there. I did a couple of events. Barely learned how to link the car in the track with the KA, and then learned how to link it pretty well with the SR. And then I went to add some more power to the SR and blew it up. And so the car was broke for 6 months, and I played the R Factor, JDM Factor, hardcore for those 6 months. Borrowed one of my friend's cars to go to a Nopi competition
That's
in
back.
real life
That's back in the day. Nope.
back in the day. Yeah. But I ended up going. That was the first competition I ever went to. It was the first time I ever tandemed. The first time I ever did a tandem run was my first competition lap.
Holy fuck!
First time I ever tandemed. I qualified first at that competition and won the event and
Shit.
was hooked from that day forward.
Because you spent
But
6 months on a simulator.
because I spent 6 months on a simulator, I hopped in that other car and I drove it and I came out screaming, "Oh, it's just like that video game!" Like I was driving it just like that. And so I played R Factor, JDM Factor for forever, and that's basically where I learned how to drive that and where I learned all my mechanics. So when to pull the e-brake, what happens when you left foot brake, getting close and
The physics
figuring
there
out how
was
to
really
get on
good.
someone's door. Yeah, the
Yeah.
physics are all there. The mechanics of what you're gonna need to do in real life versus in that game are very, very similar. And
Yeah.
that's what you learn and what you take away from driving those games
A lot of
and
people don't
enjoying those
like game.
games.
They say that
Yeah,
they
well, it's
just
hard
stupid
to
kids.
imagine the movement. I'm
Oh yeah,
rotating
yeah,
this way, and now I need to rotate this way, so I need to spin the wheel here. Because 9 out of 10 people, they just have their wheel set up to where they can just let go of it and grab it, and let
yeah,
go of it
yeah,
and
yeah,
grab it.
yeah. The
And a
self
lot of the
steer.
times that doesn't really work. The self steer. It works a lot better nowadays with like the Fanatics and the Thrustmasters and
Yeah,
all the new crazy wheels and stuff. But my whole setup, and now my set of courses set up today is still pretty ancient because I'm still everything that I have is dated back from when I was playing R Factor, JDM Factor,
mm-hmm.
So like I'm still on like a G27 wheel
Gee,
and all that stuff. So yeah, like I need to upgrade all my stuff to get up to today's level to where I can really keep up with everybody on
yeah.
Assetto.
Because
Because Assetto Corsa just ends up not even being all that fun to me anymore because I need to upgrade everything that I have
yeah,
to make it work better. Because like there's only a handful of cars that will actually even drive well on my setup because everything that I have is so old. Like
you don't get self steer with your setup and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I
Like
won't. And
I had
the
a, I
thing
had
that
a G27 and I sold it and I got a Trustmaster T300. It's like it's what everybody says is the basic. It's the minimum you can have to not go
uh-huh.
to the Fanatics, the all the direct drives,
Hmm.
because that's still cheap and that's like the minimum you can get because I have self steer. You can put a real steering like I have a real steer. So
Yeah, well,
yeah,
see, I still have like the little small
yeah,
wheel that comes with it and everything, and like I can make it work, and I could still do some drifts and have a good time. But it's hard to tandem and everything, and like especially nowadays, everybody's on VR and
and
all this
triple
stuff. Like I don't
screens
even
and stuff. Yeah,
triple screens. I don't even have head motion working on my setup yet. So I'm
yeah.
still like when I'm tandeming with someone, the
You
only
can't
way I
really
know
see
I'm
what's going
close
on.
is when I can't see them. Like if I can't see you, I know I'm close, and then all of a sudden I hit you, and now you're mad at me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's
So
a
like
it's a complicated shit.
every time I end up playing it, I end up getting like frustrated, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to update everything and buy this and buy that. But then I'm like, well, I got to buy this and this and this and
Yeah,
this and this for my race car too. And it's like, do I want to get everything paid
yeah.
for real drifts or for
Obviously, because if you need to spend
yeah.
like a couple of grand on your simulator, you'll be like, okay, couple of grand. What can I get on my real car? Oh,
Yeah,
I can update to that setup of the intake, whatever. So
yeah.
I understand. I'm on the same ball game. That's why I got the 300, the T300, and just
Hmm.
some handbrake and some stuff is enough
Yeah,
for
and
what I want, and that's it.
that's exactly what I need to do like soon though. So as soon as I can get to a place where I can get my car, like if I can get, as soon as I can get one car at least running, I will spend the money to get myself the right wheel and all that
Yeah.
because I want to get back into really doing some 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 virtual drifts and having a good time because that's really where you save your money at,
Oh yeah.
is you're getting to burn all those tires up throughout the you know without having to
Nothing
worry about
replaced
buying
real
anything.
driving. Nothing. But if you
Hmm.
practice on your simulator and you have fun, it's always good. And these
Hmm.
days you can get serious competition. Look at that beauty. Yeah, you're gonna show that just to finish this. Look at that Drift HQ sticker. Holy shit! Yeah, Duarte is gonna like to see that. And I saw June's as well. June
Hmm.
Sport Hardcore. Yeah, that guy throws.
Yeah.
He throws. He's cool. He's one of
And
the
then
coolest things.
Larry.
Ah, Larry got. Yeah, I saw your interview with Larry.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Huh.
Yeah. This was my handiwork I did this year, this ducting and everything for the rear mount radiator. I was really
Hmm.
happy about that.
You can flip it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to flip it. All
Just,
right, there, I see it.
there you go.
Boom. There we go. So yeah, like doing this year made the biggest difference. So basically beforehand, this was just open and everything here was open. And so what was
Hmm.
happening was the air was going through the radiator, but then coming around the radiator and coming back into the radiator. So it
Oh,
was
so
just doing
it's
this kind of a
yeah,
vortex, and the car would never
warm and
get
warm.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, but now not even smoke goes through the radiator. It's all just clean, cool air.
Okay.
So it really made a big difference. The
Comes
car
from
never went above 200 degrees this year.
okay. So it comes from down. Like you have, it's all sealed there where you have
Mm-hmm.
AccuSump and stuff. So it just comes from
Yep.
down.
It just
Okay.
comes from over here and then also underneath from down there
Okay.
too.
Cool. So I can see you have
Yeah.
your AccuSump there. Do you have like your is
Mm-hmm.
that just for fuel or oiling you have on top?
It's for oil.
Just for oil. Just
And I
your
don't I don't really know. There was kind of like something that I bought originally, and I was like, "Oh, this will make a big deal." But at the end of the day, I don't really know how
yeah.
much it would actually save. You know, like if like your car registers no oil pressure, you're gonna have to see that within 3 seconds
Oh yeah.
or 30 seconds. You know, so it gives you like a 30-second window, if anything.
Okay. And then you get the AccuSump as well.
Yep.
So that it's a Origin Lab Type 4 kit,
Yep.
right? No, the
The,
fenders are Type 4,
the
and
fender, these are Type 4. The
uh,
rears are LFCs, Super
from,
Doof.
mhm.
Type 2 hood.
I
And
love that
then the
hood.
body kit is a Origin attack line. This
Hmm.
is a busted one. But right there's another one. Right here's a front bumper. This is my spare kit right here.
Okay, your spare
It,
kit.
yeah. This is another car I'm building right now. This car is actually all the parts that I bought for myself for Pro Am originally that I never used, and I'm gonna put them on
Okay.
this car and sell this car. I've been stripping out off all the paint with the wire wheel.
Psh.
But basically, I'm gonna strip all the paint down and then repaint the whole interior, repaint everything, and shave the engine bay, do tubs, tube front,
Mhm.
SR, CD009.
So that's gonna be an SR car.
Yep, it's gonna be because that was originally what I bought myself or what I
Okay.
had set up for myself for Pro Am
Okay.
was a SR setup and all this other stuff. But then I realized how quickly that I blow those up. So I
Oh.
was like, nah, I need to get that 1J in my life.
Yeah, 1J's life.
Yeah,
Which
one J's have
that's the
kept
one
me on track.
that's the one you have right there on that. That's your FD car. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what you have there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you doing some work on your windows. Are you just refreshing the windows or?
Well, no, I had bought that window kit really long time ago, but I never figured out a way to mount the Lexan
Okay.
windows. And then come to find out, the people that I bought the window kit from, they also make this other piece that was another like $150 that you
Just
just
to hold
bolt
it.
up to the window, yeah, and then that holds it. And then
So
I
you can
just
have the shape.
use yeah, so it has the shape, and then I just use some quick latches
Okay.
right into there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so
So you
quick
just
latches, and
take them out.
yeah, they just pop right in and pop right out. So it's been
Oh.
really good.
So then you
I
can
also,
take.
yeah, go ahead.
No, so
Or
just
were you
saying. So
saying?
if you want, you just can take the window without needing to like take
Yeah, I
the
could take the
rivets and
window
shit.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also upstairs in my other garage because this is my basement. That was the basement at my house, and then upstairs I have another 2 bedroom or
Baller.
2 car garage, and I got this
Look
thing
at
over
that
there. So
beauty. I recognize that car.
yeah, you know that one.
I rode on that one.
Yeah, you did.
That thing is loud. That thing is
Yeah.
loud.
This one actually still has a motor in it, but it don't. It's not all there.
Oh,
Let
some
me see if
parts
I can
missing.
turn it around. No, I can't turn my light on.
No, no, no.
But yeah.
So you just took some parts out, just maintenance.
No, I took them out so that I could put them on the other car.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like I had to take the intake manifold and
Hmm.
um, a couple other things, throttle body. Took some of the spare stuff like the tie rods and lower control arms off that car because both of them run the same, just so I could have like extra spares.
In case, yeah, obviously, because why
Mm-hmm.
not? No, but that car is beautiful. The guys who do the guys who do your cages are Tim Skiddles, right?
Yeah, top garage.
Top Garage. Those guys throw
Yeah,
down as well. Tim
yeah,
Skiddles.
they do.
Those guys are
Skittles.
cool. Um,
Yeah, he does some crazy work, like welds all the cages to the cars like that,
all tucked in, all nice.
all tucked in, way up there.
That's
He does a really good job.
that's a proper job, not like
Yeah.
a fist wide.
Yeah. He might be a crybaby, but he built some good cages.
No, man. This has been it's been fun. People, I hope people go and let me just go here and get your social media. So do you want to tell what's the plan for next year? For now, it's just gonna be get your cars sorted and have some fun, and then we'll see what's gonna happen, right?
Something like that. It's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be getting the car sorted, getting my my program and everything sorted out, getting all my projects done, like this car and this other car that I have, and driving clutch kickers, driving some grid life, having some fun behind the wheel.
yeah. We might see each other at Clutch Kickers this year.
So like I want to try and yeah, we might. And I
Yeah.
also want to try and hey, if y'all got anybody out there that wants to compete in Portugal and wants to come over here, that red car you just saw up there in the garage can be ready for you. Dog boxed, Motec,
Ooh.
500 horsepower S13, ready for rent, ready for comp. Come do clutch kickers. Come do something. Come contact me. Whatever you want to do. You want to
Yeah.
do Pro 2. You want to do Pro Am.
So
You
you might
USA and drive a fun event.
you might get
I
that
can.
car for rent.
I got that car for rent. That's gonna be my idea next year. Is to
Oh, you're
try and
gonna
put
get
that
people.
car
You're gonna get
all
people to get
together.
it.
Yeah, that's what my goal next year is to be able to take this car for myself, and then to take the red car for someone down there to clutch kickers, and then just they'll both be competitive and be out there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
In that way that I could say like it'd be X amount of dollars for the car to show up and be competitive. It's a car that could take
Oh
you all
yeah,
the way to the podium and you win $10,000.
yeah. Because it's not like okay, I'm gonna get a stock Z with some suspension and some bolt-ons. It's not like that.
Yeah, no, you're getting a fully built car that can guarantee you a podium spot.
Oh yeah, that's something no one can even say no. So I'm showing here your Instagram. So people, if you want to follow, I'm just gonna speak quickly in Portuguese. Pessoal,
Uhum.
se vocês ainda não viram o Instagram do Dustin, está aqui o Instagram dele, Miles underscore GMP ou GMP. E vocês podem ver as fotos dele, podem seguir, podem lhe mandar mensagens, também falar sobre o carro que ele estava aí a falar. Como eu estava a dizer, eu vou tentar pôr legendas aqui para o pessoal perceber. Se alguém tiver alguma questão a colocar, coloquem agora para depois nós responder rápido, porque eu sei que ele também tem outras coisas a fazer hoje. Por isso, se alguém tiver alguma questão, deixem aí. E mais 10 minutinhos e acabamos isto. Ok, pessoal? Digam-me aí qualquer coisa. Yeah, I was just saying, people, to follow you if they want to go there and they have the car. If anyone has any questions or something, just say it now. But yeah, no, I'm planning on going to Clutch Kickers this year, maybe in May time.
Uhum.
But we never know because US is not giving visas to anyone, so
Uhum.
it's not
Well,
easy.
if you do, definitely contact me if you need somewhere to fly into and stay and come down with. Hit me up. You're more than welcome to fly into Atlanta,
I will.
and I can pick you up and you can come down with me if you need to.
We
Whatever.
go throw down.
Yeah.
No, for sure. We said this. I told you this before. Whenever you want to go, you come to Europe. You just hit me up. I have
I'll
a
take you up on it for sure. That's one of my other reasons why I might chill out on FD next year to try and maybe come hang out over there or
yeah.
go to Japan or do something, another cool
Yeah,
life experience.
yeah, because like you said, if you are in Europe, you can go to so many places really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and I have a car. You
Come see you and hang out, and then
yeah,
go over to France and see XL.
you can
See
see
all the
XL, which
UFC
is not
guys.
that far away. We can go. We can go to a race in France. I have my contacts over there, so we can go to a race as well. Even if you want to compete, we can find you a car as well. So you never
Oh,
know.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
I want
you
to come
never
over
know.
there and figure out a way to
Yeah,
compete.
and I have a car here.
Hey, and if you got somebody over there, you want to do an exchange thing. You got a car for me over there to compete in. I got a car for you to compete in here, and a truck and trailer and a crew and everything.
Ouviram,
Let's
pessoal?
make it happen.
Se alguém quiser, se alguém tiver um carro para o Dustin competir cá, podem ir lá que ele arranja o carro para vocês competirem lá. Por isso pensem nisso. No, yeah, that's for sure. I have a car now here, as well, because you used to drive an IS as well, did you?
Yeah, that's
So
my other car that I got to get finished this year to get some driving in. That's the car I want to finish to drive at Drift Week 3.
see, the ISs are taking over. Like
Mm-hmm.
Offsedan took his this year. Well, next year it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be you driving the
Mm-hmm.
IS crew.
So mine's got a LS in it.
No,
Yeah.
you are a sellout. You don't do that
Well, I had bought it. I bought it 10 years ago. So,
with an LS already.
well, I put the LS
Oh,
in it
okay,
10 years
okay,
ago.
okay.
I actually bought the car 15 years ago. I've
Jesus.
had that car since it was 2 years old with 30,000 miles on it. I bought that car for $24,000 back in the day.
And you put it a body kit because I saw.
Oh yeah, I put a whole bunch of stuff. I put 200,000. Like I bought like 100. I put like 170, 180,000 miles on the car, so it has like 200,000 miles now. And then I put the LS in it, and the shop that did it originally, before I knew how to work on cars, really,
Yeah.
really, really messed it up.
Yeah.
You know that story.
Yeah. So I just
We
have.
all heard that one.
We all have. Oh yeah, just sit there. Like I have a few of those. There is one question here which I also want to ask you, and to finish this off, who is the driver who inspired you?
Who is the driver that inspired me?
Yeah. Who is that guy you look up to?
Look, now or when I was getting started?
Well, let's say both because I'm pretty sure it's not the same. But
Well, it's not the same. Actually, to be funny, because since we already mentioned him, um, the guy who did my cage work originally, Chris Ward from Top Garage, when I first got into drifting, he was the local pro and the person that
okay.
everybody kind of looked up to and was like, "Oh, damn, that dude's the best." He's
Hmm.
the best driver around. And so that was kind of the person I looked up to then. And then nowadays it would be drivers, like Chelsea, like Nate Hamilton, people that drive really well and carry
Nate is cool.
themselves
I
even
like Nate.
better. I like Nate too. Nate's really good people. The Nate's like more my example of both driving and cool person and personality and all that kind of stuff.
And he has an
Like,
interesting choice of car as well. So
yeah, he does. You can't be mad about that.
no, 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 no. It's a cool car. It's definitely a cool car.
Mm.
But yeah, but you don't have any. You never had one of those god like a Japanese guy you looked at like because you like style. So you don't like
Mm.
Nakamura and those guys?
I mean, I always kind of looked up to Nakamura and stuff too, but it was more so I was always kind of, I don't know, I wasn't necessarily like looking up to them so much as it wasn't. I didn't discover them first, kind of thing.
Okay, okay.
I kind of discovered those guys later, but I kind of already had my own kind of. You saw my IS
Yeah,
300 pictures from back in the day. I already like big flashy wheels and
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah,
get in Hot Wheels style cars. We all grew up playing with Hot Wheels and
yeah.
just loving that style of car. And I definitely like migrated more towards their style as well than necessarily like US style because that kind of resonated more with me. But as far as like driving style and stuff, obviously we all love to watch Naoki chase people and the way that he drives is so aggressive and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Meha,
James Dean would be the one that I would, I
that
would
guy
say
is crazy.
before I would say anyone else really. Like he would be the one that I would say that's the dude that I watched, all of his in-car videos and, tried to, I wouldn't say model my build around, but take inspiration from his builds and try and use the same parts when I can.
Yeah, it
Like I,
is.
like I, he was one of the people that made me want to have a Samsonish,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
No, and for sure, no one can say other. He's the best drifter
Hmm.
in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best in the world if you want to, really
He's
have
not.
to put a crown on somebody,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Because you might think someone else's is the best because the style, or because it's more.
Hmm.
It's more.
It might be your favorite, but
Yeah,
like as
yeah.
far as like who has the most credentials to be the best, it's got to be him, you
No,
know?
like he doesn't win everything he gets into just because.
Mm-mm.
He
Yeah.
gets every competition he gets into, he gonna win a round or the championship. Doesn't really matter. He goes and
Yep.
wins. Is Dean the machine, and that's it.
He is.
But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna finish this off. Um, don't don't go now. then we just talk after we finish. But yeah, let me just thank everyone in this side for a second. Just give me a second.
Cool.
Pessoal, muito obrigado. Eu sei que hoje foi um bocado confuso, se calhar, para vocês. Obrigado. But yeah, because you understand a bit of Portuguese, don't you? Huh?
A little bit.
Yeah, because you grow up with a Brazilian guy, so I know you know what to say. How are you?
Ciao.
Yeah. Pessoal, muito obrigado por terem estado aqui. Sei que é um bocado mais confuso para vocês hoje por ser inglês e nem toda a gente percebe tudo a 100%, mas eu vou tentar traduzir depois isto durante a semana. Quero agradecer ao pessoal que viu, claro. Quero agradecer ao pessoal que apoia. Está aqui, por exemplo, a Teresa Garagem, o Helder, o João Salvador, que também trata aí das fibras e dos reboques do People. O Spinla, o Luís está aqui, já o vi. Olá, quero agradecer. Quero agradecer também ao Filipe Odur, que me ajudou ali com o thumbnail. Muito obrigado, Filipe. O Caracol, o Monstro Picha, não está aí. Está mal, pá. Mas Caracol, quero agradecer ao Caracol, claro. Eu gosto de agradecer quando as imagens mudam. A Ocra, muito obrigado. Este pessoal já me safou lá em Carnide e também pela câmara 360. Muito obrigado. Pois, Márcio, devia ter mais views, mas sabes que a pessoa que está em casa ou está a curtir ou está a fazer outras coisas, mas e também o inglês nem sempre é o mais forte. Quero agradecer ao Faz Fumo Márcio, que está a preparar, e como vocês podem ver, está aí aqui na Motorsport, que é do Pinto, que está aberta para business. Por isso, se vocês forem às redes sociais, aqui no Motorsport, podem procurar lá, vale a pena. A Vera Elite Clube, sempre, que ele tem aí um projeto de uma revista, vamos lá ver como é que a coisa vai para a frente. Drift HQ, quero agradecer ao Duarte sempre por ajudar o pessoal aqui e que em breve vai ajudar mais. Por isso, muito obrigado. Quero agradecer a todos, o Spinla já falei, já está aí. Quero agradecer a toda a gente que está desse lado. O Dustin está só ali, coisa, e eu, portanto, depois vou falar com ele para me despedir. Vocês já sabem o que é que o Dustin disse. Se vocês quiserem ir aos Estados Unidos e competir, ele tem um carro para alugar, que era o carro da Drift Week. Ou se vocês tiverem cá um carro que ele possa andar, dá para fazer uma troca. Por isso, há sempre uma win-win situation aqui. E pronto, pessoal. Muito, muito, muito obrigado a todos. Este não será o último deste ano, ainda vou fazer mais um. E depois será feito. Hoje, não foi hoje, foi ontem. Fez um ano que as conversas de garagem existem. Quero agradecer a todos que me ajudaram. O Oscar, que ele está aí nos comentários. Muito obrigado por teres feito parte disto e fazes ainda. Que continuas a comentar, a fazer sempre parte, estás sempre cá no meu coração. Beijinhos, Tripolovski. O Chiquinho não pôde cá estar hoje, infelizmente, com muita pena dele e de todos, porque ele tem que estar a trabalhar. E o Zé teve um problema com o computador, por isso, teve um problema. Tomei conta disto, mas já. Yeah. Pessoal, muito obrigado. Dustin, do you want to say something? Just say goodbye to people. I just said my goodbyes, so if you want to say yours.
Definitely thank you for checking me out, and thank you for checking out the video and the podcast and everything. Had a great time. Definitely hope to get to come out one day to Portugal to get to shred with everybody.
Peace. Pessoal, muito obrigado. Vemos para a semana. Don't go away, Justin. Pessoal,
going nowhere.
Pessoal, tchau, até para a semana. Beijo à prima. E não esqueçam de fazer exatamente agora, de fazer pó na lâmina e comam um pouco de doces de Natal. Vemo-nos depois de Natal.